National Football League.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the 2023 NFL Combine. My name is Matt Hannon, and with me, as always, is Caleb Palmer. How are we feeling today, Caleb?
Well, I'm doing great, Matt. Thank you for asking. All right, let's get to business. Next up, I have one of my favorite prospects testing here at the Combine, outside linebacker from Binghamton University, Charlie Tibbetts.
Now, this kid is really exciting, Caleb. Stands at 6'2", 257 pounds, 29-inch arm length, just a really big, solid unit out there on the field. He's got a complete size profile for someone who can play more of the hybrid linebacker role. You know, he's got his wrestling background, help him get physical, not just with his pass rushing, but can defend the run as well. Very cerebral kind of player. Very comfortable dropping into coverage and reading the quarterback on passing down. Just all-around good hybrid player and just a very high football IQ, especially for someone his size.
That's right, Matt. This guy takes his craft very seriously. He's got great academics and athletics. And I'd probably compare him most to Donta Hightower. Just a giant bumper.
That's a great comp there. I mean, I see him as projected maybe high second-round pick when he becomes draft eligible. I mean, like with all prospects, though, he's not without some red flags. He was primarily a wrestler his senior year of high school, not necessarily a football player. And he might have a little inexperience, but I believe his IQ and just his overall desire to learn the game just makes him an overall good prospect, and maybe could be a good steal of the draft late in the second or third round, I think.
Exactly right. He hasn't played organized ball since his sophomore year of high school, thanks to COVID, which prevented him from playing his junior year. After that, he stepped away from the game to focus full-time on wrestling. And can you blame the kid? He wanted to win a New York State champion and earn a spot in the Division I college roster. Now he's getting his best weight training, conditioning, and nutrition there is, and it's paying off.
Yeah, that's a good point. And speaking of training and nutrition and all of that, it's definitely paying off. If you look at last year's combine stats, Tibbetts weighed in at 285 pounds, bit more fat than muscle, but now he's shaved off about 30 pounds and has definitely put on muscle. You'll see that reflected in his, definitely in his bench press. I think you'll see that reflected. And we'll see if that training translates to more of the agility and skills events, such as the 40-yard dash, 20-yard shuttle, 3-cone drill, and so forth. So how about we'll see if it translates. We'll head down to the field now and begin with this 40-yard dash. Tibbetts lining up for the 40. Looks set. And he's off.
Look at that explosive power right there.
Good start, but can he hold it? Looks like he can. Let's see, the results are coming in now. He looked like he was moving pretty quick, especially compared to last year. If you remember last year, he was over 6 seconds. And there it is.
The 5.68 40-yard dash.
Definitely an improvement.
There was no one like him.
Here we are with attempt number 2 of the 40. Tibbetts taking his time going the lineup, taking his breath, conserving his energy. Here he is at the line.
Winding up for the start.
Looks just as explosive as last time. Looks like he's going to hold it even harder and finishes through the line.
That one's got to be faster.
5.64. So 0.04 second improvement, but anything is better than nothing. Am I right, Caleb? Here we are now with 3-cone drill. Tibbetts lining up.
Looseness is all gone.
And there he is, explosive start. Turns the corner hard around the cone. Look at that agility. And he crosses the line. That looked lightning fast compared to last year. If you remember last year, he clocked in at over 9 seconds. And if I remember, if the results are coming in, 8.83, which is absolutely shatters last year's time.
We're gonna let the fans decide what that number means.
All right, now this is a test he did not do last year. This is a 20-yard shuttle run. Interesting event. It really tests your lateral movement side to side. Tibbetts lining up. Explodes to his left. Quick. Back to the right. And look at that. Wastes no time. Wastes no time off those corners. And with an impressive time, somewhere in the 4s is where I clocked it. We clocked him at, maybe not, 5.05 seconds. And I definitely think the numbers do not reflect Tibbetts' heart and dedication and his love for the game of football. All right, Tibbetts lining up for the high jump now. Getting his wind up in. And look at that, what an explosive jump. I mean, if that rim was any lower, I'm telling you, he would have dunked that shit. After the math, it's an impressive 19-inch vertical jump. In and of itself, once again, doesn't seem very impressive, but overall, I think the best swords aren't forged instantly. They're beaten down and with a hammer and stuck in fire and going through all this. I don't know what I'm fucking saying right now.
Here we now have his long jump attempt.
Broad jump. You know, big fella, but have you ever heard the expression of pigs flying? I think that's what we'll see today.
He winds up for the jump.
Absolutely explodes off the line. Official results coming in now. 7 foot 1 inch, which is very impressive.
This just goes to show how hard he's trained for this next event.
You know, it's not necessarily about what the numbers say. It's just about how much effort you're putting in. And this kid's got heart. He doesn't let his numbers define him, and I think that's really what makes him special. All right, we have the bench press up next, but we have some live audio coming in, so we're just going to let that play out. Do you need to lift off? Let's get it. One, two. Come on, big fella. Yeah.
Come on, Charlie.
6, 7, 8.
Come on, you got 2 more.
9.
Nice, you got this. 1 more.
Who's gonna carry the boats? 1 more. In the logs. What? 1 more. 10 more.
Come on.
Like weight, baby. 12.
Ah.
12. Good shit.
Fantastic performance.
12 times better than last year, baby. An impressive 12 reps for Tibbetts. That is a 120% improvement from last year. We just saw exponential improvement, and I think it's only up from here. And I think Tibbetts should be very proud of what he accomplished here today. What are your thoughts, Caleb?
I think, yeah, I agree with everything you just said there.
Perfect. I wish my wife was the same way. All right. Let's analyze his results as a whole. All right, after that impressive bench press performance, we're pretty much rounding out his combine now. Hold on. Okay, we're getting his relative athletic score now. This will compare him to all other linebackers that have gone through this combine. And we're getting this score now. Let's see. Okay, now, I know we kind of hyped him up. We talked about him being a great prospect, and we did mention he wouldn't be without a few red flags. For example, he's in a little bit of the bottom percentile as far as his bench press, his vertical, his broad drum, his 40-yard dash, his 20-yard dash, his everything else. But there is some upside, and that is his size and his... Well, let's just say he's got a very good size for his position. He's in the top percentile with his weight and height. And that with all of his other aspects of his combine combined, all of his bench, his vertical, his broad, his 40-yard dash, his shuttle, his 3-cone, that gives him a solid score of 0.57 out of 10, which I know, hear me out, it does not look promising. However, I have seen this kid's work ethic and his heart and his drive, and that is something that a relative athletic score cannot measure. I think this guy is the Tom Brady of outside linebackers. This may make him fall to a late round pick in the 6th or 7th round, and even still by some with this relative athletic score can be still considered a reach even in a late round. However, I think his work ethic and his drive, along with the right coaching, is going to make him an elite football player. And you also have to keep in mind he is only a freshman in college. He has 3 more years of Division I training, and I think it's only up from here. What do you think, Caleb?
You're a very optimistic man.
We have Charlie Tibbetts here on air. Charlie, thanks for coming out and talking with us today. You had a great combine performance. How do you feel?
Thanks, Matt. It's really an honor to hear you say that. Caleb, I'm a big fan of yours as well. I'm really blessed to be out here. I think I gave it all I had. I left it on the field. I've been training for months for this. But, I think I put my best foot forward. I showed a lot of improvement from last year, and that's really the best I could hope for, is to just improve from last year. I got a long way to go in this journey, so, constant growth. My strength coach likes to say, this is a crock pot, not a microwave. It's going to take time, so I'm pleased with my performance today.
You still have 3 more years of Division I training to improve yourself before you declare for the draft. What are your goals, and where do you see and how much do you see yourself improving over these next few years?
I think I want to improve a lot. Obviously, I think I have a long way to go. I have a lot of growth still. I think the big thing for me is a lot of strength and agility mainly. I think with strength comes speed, and I think learning change of direction, that's going to come. I'm a Division I athlete, Division I wrestler especially, I think needs a lot of quick change in direction. You're not running a lot in wrestling, it's those short movements, so I think that's going to come with time. And I think strength mostly is my biggest thing, hitting the weight room. I've been cutting a lot. As you can see, I dropped 30 pounds for this. I've been cutting a lot, trying to get my speed up, but now I think I got to bulk back up, get some muscle going, get really sturdy. I still got a little bit of flab on me, but I think it's coming off. You see a big growth in just 1 year. Imagine what I can do in 3 years.
Is there anyone you want to send a special message to, or maybe a word of thanks for helping you get to where you are right now?
Of course. I obviously have to thank my parents. I wouldn't be here without them. They've been so incredibly passionate about my success, and they've been willing to help me on every step of the journey. I have to thank my coaches. I got to thank Coach Kyle, Coach Bacon, my strength coach. I have to thank Coach Lou, who's been really stepping in and helping me out, especially these past 6 months or so. Coach Fred, he's leaving the program, but he's been a big help to me over the past year, and I think I'd be remiss without thanking him. And of course, my practice partners. Shout out to Corey, shout out to Cade, shout out to Trent. Shout out to Chris Belmonte. He knows he's a real one. Everybody who's helped me on this journey, I think I really owe thanks to them. I can't name everybody, of course, but just know I'm really thankful for having you.
All right, we're a little short on time here, so one final question and an important one at that. Are the rumors about you and Livy Dunn true?
Everybody's been saying me and Baby Gronk, kind of the big rivalry going into this combine, but he's been looking at a lot of colleges like LSU, so I think... I'm coming from the smaller market, Binghamton. I maybe don't have a big advantage of him on grabbing somebody like Livy Dunn, but at the end of the day, he thinks he's the Riz King. I'm focused on the football field. I think if Livy Dunn's smart, she'll go for the real winner. She'll go for somebody dedicated to winning and dedicated to success. At the end of the day, Baby Gronk, I got a lot of respect for him, but Livy, you know my DMs. You're already in there. You got my number. What's going on?
All right, thank you today, and congratulations again.
Thank you, Matt.
This program is brought to you by Dunkin' Donuts. America and the NFL runs on Dunkin'.
Thanks for tuning in to this presentation of the National Football League here on ESPN. I'm Matt Hannon, as always, here with Caleb Palmer, signing off, and we'll catch you next time.